While the earth is where we live, it is the atmosphere around the earth which gives us the air to breathe. This is the most important thing for survival of life. This is the chapter from class 7th Geography, Air and Atmosphere. In this chapter, we will learn about what is atmosphere, composition of the atmosphere, in which we will come to know about the different kinds of gases found in the atmosphere, structure of the atmosphere. In this, the different layers will be studied, temperature control on the earth's surface, and the importance of atmosphere for all of us. Now let us know about what is atmosphere. The atmosphere is like a thick blanket of air around the earth, which, although not visible, it performs many functions without which sustenance of life on earth would have been difficult. It provides important gases essential for many aspects of life, controls the temperature on earth so that it doesn't become too hot or too cold, and it also provides assistance for the movement of moisture. Besides this, the atmosphere also provides a very important source of energy. Now let us read about the composition of the atmosphere. The blanket of atmosphere around the earth has many gases in different proportions and densities. The atmosphere also has water vapor, dust particles and pollutants which vary from place to place and are dependent on the climatic conditions. The biggest constituent is nitrogen gas, followed by oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, ozone, hydrogen, and helium are also found in very small quantities. Here you can see the structure of the atmosphere. There are the different layers of atmosphere. Atmosphere is a thin blanket of gases. These gases form different layers depending on their density and weight. The composition of gases has an effect on the temperature pattern. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Now, let us learn about the layers of the atmosphere in detail. First is troposphere. It begins at the surface and extends between 9 kilometers at the poles and 17 kilometers at the equator. It has an average thickness of 13 kilometers. The air we breathe is present only in this layer. This layer sees variation of weather and witness several weather phenomena. Rainfall, fog, hail, and snowfall are generally limited to this layer. It holds approximately 80% of the mass of the atmosphere. The boundary between the troposphere and stratosphere is called tropopause. This layer holds approximately 80% of the mass of the atmosphere. The next layer is stratosphere. It extends from the tropopause to about 50 km above mean sea level. This layer has nearly no clouds and is not affected by any weather conditions, because of which it is considered as ideal for flying aircrafts. In this layer, the temperature increases with height due to increased absorption of ultraviolet radiations by the ozone layer. While the temperature may be minus 51 degrees Celsius at the lower level of this layer, that is at the tropopause, the top of the stratosphere is much warmer with a temperature of minus 15 degrees Celsius. The boundary between the troposphere and stratosphere is called tropopause. The layer next to stratosphere is mesosphere. It rises above from the stratopause to 80 to 85 kilometers. It is the layer where most meteors burn up upon entering the atmosphere. Temperature decreases with height in the mesosphere. Temperature dropped to as low as minus 85 degrees Celsius to minus 100 degrees Celsius. The upper limit of this layer is called the mesopause. Now the next layer is thermosphere. It extends from 80 km or the mesopause to about 400 kilometers. Temperature increases rapidly with height in the thermosphere. The temperature is high as a result of the extremely low density of molecules. Ionosphere is a part of this layer. The temperature of this layer can rise to 1500 degrees Celsius. The International Space Station orbits in this layer. This layer contains electrically charged particles called ions that helps in radio transmission and works as a reflective layer for reflecting back radio waves beamed up from the Earth's surface. The next layer is exosphere. The outermost layer of Earth's atmosphere extends from the exobase. Exobase is the base of exosphere upwards. It is mainly composed of hydrogen and helium. These gases are extremely rare and may float out into the outer space from here. Temperature control on the Earth's surface. The air around the Earth brings about temperature control on the Earth's surface. Atmosphere is a layer of gases surrounding the Earth. The blanket of gases are retained around the Earth due to gravity of the Earth. It provides us protection from the harmful effects of sun's rays by absorbing the ultraviolet radiations of the sun. It also protects us from extreme heat of the sun during the day and excessive cold at night. The atmosphere partly absorbs and partly disperses the heat coming down on the surface of the earth during the day. Similarly, at night, the earth would have emitted all the heat received from the sun during the day. This would have cooled the surface of the earth not facing the sun to below freezing point. This ability of the atmosphere to retain heat absorbed during the day and to trap it during night is called the greenhouse effect. Now let us learn about the importance of atmosphere. It protects life on the earth by absorbing ultraviolet solar radiations. It warms the earth through heat retention, that is greenhouse effect, reducing temperature extremes between day and night. Water vapor in the atmosphere is essential for rain and snow. Dust particles in the air form the core around which water condenses and form clouds. Nitrogen helps in maintaining soil fertility. This makes plants healthy and thus improves the yield. Carbon dioxide helps plants in manufacturing food in the presence of sunlight. Plants give out oxygen which is needed for human breathing and combustion of fuel. It provides protection from falling meteors which burnt up into the atmosphere before falling on the earth. Now let us learn about what is greenhouse effect. If plants are grown in a glass house, then during the day the plants get light and solar heat through the glass, and the air inside the glass house also gets heated up. At night, the glass traps the heat from within the glass house, and thus the plants keep getting warmth during the night. This helps the plants grow greener and better. This process of heat retention in the enclosed space is called the greenhouse effect.